you have any ideas around how charities could maybe collaborate a little bit more to make them more effective?
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think in many cases the tech isn't the issue. So the tech's not the issue when it comes to, say, collaboration, for example, but actually kind of culture and ways of working and decision making and collaboration are often the tricky bit. So it's like, we've got an end goal that's, say, like, for example, that, a mental health directory or signposting site, and there might be 25 different providers that are kind of inputting content into that. And the tricky bit isn't like technically how do we do that, because executing it's not difficult. The tricky bit is how do we get 25 mental health charities to agree on how you describe a service? How do we get 25 mental health charities to decide on where each of their logos is going to sit? And it's that process bit that's often the bit that requires loads and loads of time, not the bit of we're going to build the thing, because building the thing is often quite easy and it's based on tried and tested methodology. But the tricky thing is getting people to actually work together and collaborate where that's not naturally how they might do things or how decisions are made. And actually a lot of the work that we've been doing, and particularly during COVID, has not necessarily been about the tech, but it's been about different ways of working and different ways of making decisions. So how do we take service design principles so that we can better understand what users want and need and how they can genuinely influence that process, rather than we ran a focus group or we did a survey monkey with 17 users and then we made decisions based on that? Or how do we better make use of data to make decisions, and actually starting to remove people's personal opinions from these processes, or just that someone has a good idea and that's enough. Is like, the good idea is the starting point, but how do we validate that through service design or through the data that's going to tell us whether that thing is actually needed in the first place? And so for me, that's the bit, is like starting to change those cultures. And I think we've seen like loads of positive steps around COVID where people have been forced to use things like whether it's Teams or Slack or whether it's Zoom calls. But actually, sometimes we're seeing a kind of perpetuation of the things that were bad in the workplace, but now they're happening online. So people feeling like utter fatigue at relentless Zoom meetings. And all we've done is really taken the structures of the workplace and now we've stuck them online, rather than thinking, well, where's the potential for asynchronous work and where's the potential for collaboration? We had loads of meetings in an office. Now we have to do those same meetings that last 4 hours where we just go around and tell everyone what we did for the last month, but now we do it in a Zoom call. And so that's where I think that potential for collaboration gets really interesting, is where you can show charities, here's how you can make meaningful decisions and here's how you can do it really quickly, rather than, the end goal is a website, but it's going to take you 3 months to get there because you're going to have 17 meetings and you can't decide anything and you end up with this quite fudged product. Is actually giving them those kind of skills and confidence to take processes from the tech world and apply that to the charity world.